Our house friends at Trailer Choir, rocking the beer gut on Kix 105.5. Good morning to you. It is 7:49. And as we do on Wednesdays, we always talk to Mike Barrett from Barrett Insurance Agency of St. Johnsbury. And Mike is not in studio this morning because, well, why?
Because I'm not.
Oh, okay, because you're not here.
I'm not there.
So I was thinking the other day, what is the reasoning behind having somebody like you versus just having somebody that I call up on the telephone and I have no idea who they are, where they're at, and it's really about in time of need. In time of need.
Yeah. I would say it's primarily consistency. When you're dealing with us, we have been working with you from inception of the policy all the way through. And so we understand what your needs are. We understand where you've been and where you're going. And it's really just about having that consistency of a relationship to really help you best with your policies and with your time of need, such as a claim, really helping guide you through that process.
That's got to be uncomfortable from time to time. And so I'm sure that laying the foundation for a good relationship ahead of time makes that a little smoother of a transition for people dealing with traumatic things in their life when they have to call in and say, oh, I had a house fire, I had an auto accident, I need assistance. You're there for them.
We are. And I'll tell you, in the time of need, when the answer of whether something is covered is no, is probably the most uncomfortable moment of what we deal with day in and day out. Sad to say, but there are certain types of things that can happen to you that simply are not covered. And it's really about trying to educate you as best we can ahead of time to prevent that uncomfortable feeling or feeling of being left out by your insurance carrier for when something is not covered. So it's really about that education as we go through the process. A great example is, maybe we have a few days of really heavy rain and all of a sudden your basement has a foot of water in it and a bunch of stuff was destroyed and now you've got a dry out problem. Well, sadly, groundwater seepage of any kind is not covered. It's not covered by a homeowner policy, and then if there was to be any trigger of coverage, it may come from a flood policy, but there's a bunch of stipulations involved there before there would actually be a triggered coverage. So that's a pretty uncomfortable situation when you have potentially thousands of dollars worth of damage that you're going to see no claim payment for. Very uncomfortable.
Now,
so that's really what it's about.
Something that another insurance agency wouldn't discuss with you is maybe trying to be ahead of the curve. You might suggest to them, hey, if you know that this is a possibility, why don't you get yourself some of that rubber waterproofing paint and, seal up your basement or, put extra dirt or rocks on the outside of your house so that you get less of the possibility of these things occurring. Because you're part of this community, and that's what makes the difference.
Exactly. And if you have a basement that's prone to water, I'll give you a quick scenario. There is a water backup endorsement that we try to put on every policy. Only time we wouldn't is if you tell us no. And maybe you do have a water problem in your basement and you've got a sump pump. And let's say the sump pump fails to do its job, and now you have a water problem. Well, that would trigger coverage. So, there's just ways to mitigate your loss and try to be as best prepared as you can be. So that's really the point of it all right there.
Well, if they would like to know more about you and your program and all you have to offer at Barrett Insurance Agency in St. Johnsbury, Mike, give them the phone number and stuff online that they can check out.
Absolutely, and I'm just going to kind of insert some additional information here.
Of course you are.
Know that our office, of course I am. That's what I do. I want to apologize ahead of time for any inconvenience, but our office closed yesterday at 3:00 and will not reopen until Friday morning at 8:30. Now, the reason for that is one of the companies that we represent and have for our entire operation is Co-operative Insurance. They're based out of Middlebury, Vermont, and they are turning 100 years young. And we are actually in Virgins at the Basin Harbor Club. It's not all fun and games, though. I'm going to be attending a 3-hour ethics class after I have my little breakfast after we talk. So it's not all fun and games. It's a combination seminar and celebration. But how often does an insurance company turn 100, which is why we opted to close? So that is something that you need to be aware of. But otherwise, you can contact us at 802-748-5224. We're on Portland Street in St. Johnsbury. Our website didn't take any time off. That's online at thebarrettagency.com and our Facebook page, Barrett Insurance Agency.
Thanks so much, brother. I look forward to having you back in town and in studio, and I'm sure you'll be joining us for Colors of the Kingdom since you'll be back on Friday.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
All right. Have a great day, Mike.
Hey, you too, sir.
Bye-bye.